Knits podcast. This is a special edition of the Carla Knits podcast, so not a usual podcast, but this is going to be a tour of my self-striping yarns and self-striping socks. This empty shelf above my head housed most of my self-striping yarns. And a while back I shared that I would like to do some different videos on things, maybe a tour of my sweaters, maybe organizing in my yarn room here. And somebody said that they would really like to see my self-striping yarns. So I thought that would be fun. So in addition to pulling out all of the yarns, I also pulled out all of my self-striping socks that are already completed. And I guess I have decided I definitely love self-striping socks, and I have lots of self-striping yarn. So I guess let's go ahead and get started. I will share my yarns first. I don't have a script here, so we are just going to go with it. When I pulled the yarns off my shelf this morning, I grouped the self-striping yarns according to yarn dyers. So there are definitely yarn dyers that I have quite a few skeins of, and then on this side of my table, and then on the other side I have some single skeins from dyers. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started sharing. So I realized, and I think I will intersperse, if I've made socks from these dyers already. So I think that will keep it interesting. So this first bundle of yarns is from Wallflower Fibers. I did not realize I had this much on my yarn shelf, and I just realized there's another one somewhere back there too, a Christmas one. But this is from Wallflower Fibers. That's Rachel, who dyes this self-striping yarn, and I'm just going to go ahead and show you. This color is called 1,000 Yellow Daisies. I think this is a Gilmore Girls reference. I have watched Gilmore Girls, but not for many, many years. But I think that is a reference. Or it could just be a beautiful skein of yarn. So I love those yellows, those light yellows in there. I think that is so pretty. So, yep, these are definitely sock fingering weight yarns. So I do have some DK weight thrown in here, but this is fingering weight. So all of these are fingering weight. This is called Puppy Love. And I'm excited to see how all of these will knit up. She does on her website have pictures of how her yarns knit up, which is great. This is a pole dark reference. This is called the Moors of Cornwall. And again, I love those lighter tones. There's a grassy green in there and a sky blue. And let's see, in my pile I am looking for, I made the other pole dark reference socks, and now I can't remember what the colorway is called. I should have written this down. Cornwall Cove, is that? Yeah, maybe Cornwall Cove. So that is Wallflower Fibers, the pole dark reference. This, another Wallflower Fibers. We were on a break, so if you are a Friends watcher of that TV show, that's definitely a reference from there that you will have caught. And then this is Chicka Chicka Boom Boom, so based on the kids book Chicka Chicka Boom Boom, which I absolutely love, and I loved reading to my kids when they were little. So just a classic children's book. So currently I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 skeins, And then somewhere else in here, I do have another one that I realized I forgot to pull. So it's probably in my Christmas yarns somewhere down here. So you can see I really do need to be cleaning my and organizing in here too. But those are from Night Owl Fibers. And I think I'm just going to share the rest of my Night Owl Fibers socks. So currently, in my hand knit sock wardrobe, I have 4 pairs of socks from Night Owl Fibers. So the first was that Cornwall Cove. Then this was a fun self-striping Halloween yarn from Halloween of 2021. That was just so fun. And I know she said she will be doing, you know, Halloween again this year. So if you like fun Halloween self-striping, definitely check out Night Owl Fibers. This was her Halloween colorway from, I was gonna say this year. It seems like this year. It was just the last one, but 2022. So Halloween 2022. And I got this on her DK base. So those knit up really fast, and her yarn is really nice to work with. And then I love, 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 love this Christmas colorway that she did for 2022. So pretty. This is a DK weight pair of socks again. So on a DK base. And I knit these up. I started knitting these on Thanksgiving Day while watching part of the Macy's Day Parade. So that has some fun memories in there. So it was a nice kickoff to the Christmas holiday season. So those are my Night Owl Fibers socks. Let's see. Then I have quite a few, let's see, just try to get these organized here. If you are a longtime follower of the podcast, you may remember that for a period of time I did subscribe to a self-striping yarn sock club, and that was by Knitterly Things, which I absolutely love her self-striping yarn too. And I got it for, I guess, for 6 months. And then I realized I was not knitting it as fast as the yarn was coming in. In fact, I only knit 1 pair of socks. So I guess I will share that first. I'm gonna cleaning this off. So Knitterly Things, this was a different yarn base. I can't remember. Is there another rustic one in here? Let's see. Yeah, her wool is really different. It has a little bit more rustic feel to it, but very, very nice to work with, and it feels like a very sturdy, hard wearing sock. So this Knitterly Things, this was in the Hibernate color. I just really love those colors together. Yeah, I just love color. I love so many different colors, bright colors, subtle colors, moody colors. I just have so much fun with colors. Yeah, and enjoy seeing all of the different color combinations with these self-striping yarns. So that was the 1 pair of socks that I actually knit up. The rest of these are still in skein form. So I don't remember the order in which I got them, but so these are all Knitterly Things. This is called Cheerful. This one has some sparkle in it, so that's really fun. This one is called Mystic Milkshake. Isn't that a fun name? And I feel like that, yeah, that's definitely a little bit more of the rustic. I shouldn't say rustic. It's not completely rustic, but it's just, it's a little hardier, sturdier feeling than some sock yarns. This one is really fun. It has sparkle in it again. It's called Collide. I think this one would be fun in the fall. I just see it has some of those browns and plum purples, but then it has those pops of yellow in there too. I don't know. I think that would be fun for fall. This one is called Practically Perfect, and it does have stellina in it, that sparkle in it. And then the final one from Knitterly Things is called Bubbletopia. And again, a really fun name and some bright, fun colors. So yes, I have quite a bit of yarn from Knitterly Things. And, you know, I was sure tempted to keep going with that club, but just realized I have quite a bit of self-striping sock yarn and was not knitting through it nearly as fast as I should be. So I had to do the smart thing and just say, no, I did it for 6 months. So maybe at some point in the future I would do it again, but I would have to get through some other sock yarn first. All right. I have a few skeins here from the Freckled Whimsy. I really, really like the Freckled Whimsy yarn. And I especially like that she came out with her self-striping on a DK base. So these three are DK weight sock yarns. So this first one is called Pinky Promise. So all those fun, different pink tones. And it came with that cute mini, which I will probably use in the heel of the sock. Or maybe, yeah, I think I would use it in the heel. Then this is called I Pink I Love You. Yeah, I'm excited to see how that knits up. Of course, you know, she has also on her website, she has how they knit up too, but I'm not sure I remember how this one knits up. So it would be fun to see. You really can't tell when you look at these skeins of yarn exactly how it's going to knit up the striping sequence, but I love the colors in that one. And then this skein of yarn I have eyed for years in her, you know, her regular sock yarn, but I'm really glad that I got it on DK weight. So this is a Christmas yarn. It's called Peppermint Mocha. Probably you recognize this if you love Christmas yarns. I know my friend Colleen, who is CW Quilter on Instagram, who is hosting that Christmas Sock Along 2023, she knit up her pair of this colorway, and it's just so fun. So I'm excited to work with that at some point. The Freckled Whimsy socks I have a couple. So speaking of that DK weight base, I do have this, which I did make these socks last year. And this was a, I believe, 24 stripe experiment. So they don't necessarily match up. I didn't worry about doing that. With DK weight, I wasn't exactly sure if I could manage to get the stripes exactly perfect. I did use the coordinating mini that came with it, but these are really fun, nice soft yarn, really nice. The other pair that I have is her regular sock base, so fingering weight, and this was her 2021 self-striping Advent skein. And I added in the contrasting cuff, heel, and toe, which I believe was a Wayward Tint colorway. But this was the self-striping, and I think that's really, really fun. Yeah, I have fun wearing these. So that is Freckled Whimsy. Let's see, next I will pull out, I think I thought I had more of this, but this is still quite a bit of Desert Vista Dyeworks. You can't have self-striping yarn without mentioning Desert Vista Dyeworks. So I have these 5 skeins in my stash. I really need to start knitting these because these have been in my stash for quite a while. I remember she did you know, some kind of free shipping thing. And I thought, well, that's cool. I'm going to get a bunch when she offered free shipping. So this was several years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago. I don't know, a while ago. But anyway, if you remember, I did knit the Zom Piglet socks this year. And that was a Desert Vista Dyeworks, which I don't have here right now. It's in my gift box in the other room. So those aren't going to be for me. Those will be for a gift. But this colorway, along with the whole Winnie the Pooh Zom Body series, this is Zom Rabbit. So self-striping, but then she has some speckles in some of the stripes too, or at least in one of the stripes. Yeah. This one I think is so fun. It's called Tupperware Tumblers. So any Tupperware fans out there, I love Tupperware, and you know, we still have a few pieces. You know, we have our pitchers and let's see. Yeah, pitchers. I still have some measuring spoons, and I have my canisters, flour and sugar canisters. When Jeff and I go antiquing, we always see, you know, Tupperware in the antique malls. So this is Tupperware Tumblers. So a really fun pastel. Yeah, lots of pastels, that bright blue and yellow in there, but really fun. So the name definitely got me. So did the names of yarns get you guys too? Yeah, I'm a sucker for something based on something. I just think that's just so fun. So that, and excuse me, I have this Zomware Over the Rainbow. So that is a Wizard of Oz reference. So really fun and bright. I like that. This one is Alaska Thunder Zom Body. So some really, that bright blue in there and the bright purples I absolutely love. And I can't remember, I think it does have some, it looks like it does have some speckling in there too. I believe I first saw this colorway on the Crazy Sock Lady podcast years ago, and I really fell in love with that. So excited to have that bright, or that, you know, those deep blues and purples in that skein. And then the final one is, I don't know what this reference is. This is called No Soggy Bottoms. So if anyone is familiar with what that reference is, let me know. But the colors in this one just really spoke to me. This just seemed really, really fun. And so for Desert Vista Dyeworks, I would have thought that I would have had more socks, but I only have 2 pairs of socks in my sock drawer. You know, I pulled from a couple different locations, but I only have 2 pairs from Desert Vista Dyeworks currently. This was the Zom Body Little Shop of Horrors, and this is really fun. I love the colors in this. This started out as 1 pair of socks. It was the heel toe do-si-do socks, which I made, and they were completely way too tight. So I had made the socks and then ripped that pattern out and had to put that yarn away for a while. But then I did knit this up a couple years ago, and yeah, really love the colorway. Just pulling some fuzz and some stuff off. And then this, I don't remember what this colorway is, but this was so bright. I absolutely loved, again, those pinks and reds and blues, and that blip of neon yellow. It's just so pretty. So those are the 2 pair that I have. I certainly would have thought I would have had more more socks knit out of Desert Vista Dyeworks, but I don't. So, but I do have some skeins to choose from. All right. the rest, I just have single skeins in my stash. So, or single socks. So I will just share this. So this pair is by Lollipop Yarns in the Charisma colorway. I think I knit these last year. And this yarn was really nice to knit with, and I love her colorways, but I restrained and only bought this one and knit it up right away. But really, really fun. Then, let's see, I have, one skein of yarn, Dye for You. And this is by, excuse me, it's Dye for You, that's the dyer. This colorway is Cozy Up With Us. And I do have a pair of socks also made by Dye for You in the Cozy Up with JoJo. So this happened to be colorways that were dyed for the Cozy Up Knitting Sisters. Do I have that right? The 4 sisters from Canada. And on this sock, I actually did do the heel toe do-si-do pattern, which I tried on that other pair of socks, and it was successful. I believe I probably went up a needle size to do that because that pattern kind of pulls in. So the regular one just didn't cut it. So I do believe I went up. But these socks are so nice. I love the feel of these socks. These are really sturdy and warm in the winter. So I definitely grab these often on really cold days. But really fun. All right, we are making our way through. I have one pair of socks by the Cozy Knitter. I believe this was her 2020 Advent colorway. So where I knit a stripe a day in the month of December. I think I cheated and started early that year. Could be, I don't remember. And I'm always tempted to get her Advent again, but so I did her self-striping sock in 2020. In 2021, I had done the Freckled Whimsy one, which you saw. And last year I did the DK weight sock from Night Owl Fibers. So maybe one self-striping sock yarn for Christmas is okay. All right, Nomadic Yarns. So currently in my stash, I only have one skein from Nomadic Yarns. This is called Wonderland. I did share this a little while back when I shared my Christmas sock yarn. So I believe this is a Christmas colorway. I don't remember why now, but it definitely reminds me of like the 3 wise men and the night sky and the star shining. That's what it reminds me of, or a winter's night. So that is by Nomadic Yarns. And I actually have 4 pair of socks in my from my sock drawer of Nomadic Yarns. So early on in my sock knitting, I really loved her yarn, and I still love her yarn. I don't know why that's the only skein in my stash, honestly, but I have knit 4 pair, so I will just share these. This was a cupcake colorway, so really, really fun. So you have the cupcake base, and then frosting, and then, you know, the sprinkles on top, I guess. Yeah, so this was just really fun. So I do wear these quite a bit. And then I said, you know, I'm a sucker for, you know, colorway names, or if they're based on things. So I like these 2 pairs of socks because I feel like they are really representative of things that both of my boys really liked. So these are a Star Wars sock. So I have worn these, you know, to Star Wars movies, and I should have pulled them out on May the 4th this year, but I don't remember if it was a cold day or not. So Star Wars, I just, you know, that blue for R2-D2, and I think of the red for the lightsaber, the black for Darth Vader. You've got the C3PO colors in there, the sandiness. I love, 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 love this. Or the blue could be for Luke Skywalker's lightsaber too. So those just, you know, are really a fun Star Wars pair of socks. So that was, my son Aaron is really into Star Wars. And then my son Ryan was really into Harry Potter for a long time. And these are Fred and George socks. I just thought they were really fun, and to me they're kind of Halloweeny. They do have some sparkle in, but these were really fun to knit up. And you know, I just have good memories and fun memories of Ryan. He had a pair of Harry Potter glasses which he used to wear everywhere. In fact, he wore them to church one Sunday when he was younger, and you know, we're talking maybe like 8 or 9, 7, 8 or 9, and you know, we didn't realize. And then we're sitting in church and I look down the pew and Ryan's in his Harry Potter glasses at church, but that's okay. That's okay. People kind of expected that with him. He just went through quite the phase. And then the last of the Nomadic Yarns is this pair, which has had quite a lot of love. This was, I think it's called Knit Folk. This was a colorway dyed up, I believe, with the colors that Jacqueline Salem from the Brooklyn Knit Folk podcast really loved. And so I thought these were really fun. I do wear these quite a bit in the winter. I think they're a more subdued pair of socks, so I actually do wear these to work sometimes under slacks. But really fun. All right, so now I just have a couple of miscellaneous socks and a couple more sock skeins. So I'm going to share the socks first. This is by Sweet Sparrow Yarns, and this was I think a Neapolitan ice cream reference. It was an ice cream reference, I know that. But this yarn is really nice and soft, and yeah, I really enjoyed knitting on those. It's a watermelon pair of socks. This is Biscotte Yarns, who has really fun self-striping colorways, and super fun. Although, you know, I maybe should have made them shorty socks for summer, you know, for watermelon, but very, very fun socks. I just definitely wanted to, you know, use as much of the self-striping yarn as possible. But that is the Biscotte yarn. And then this final pair of socks, this is by, let's see, Wallflower Fibers. I don't know if she's still dyeing. This color is called Royalty. I do grab these quite a bit in the winter time. This was a colorway. She had a couple colorways for kind of based on the movie Frozen. And this was her self-striping yarn for Frozen. And I just thought those were really fun. And I know I knit those up as part of a knit along for a podcast. I can't think what it was called. It's Louise. No, I can't remember, but yeah, so those were really fun. So I believe those are all of my self-striping socks. I certainly have made socks for other people in self-striping yarns. Here are the last of the single skeins. This is Must Stash Yarn in the Firework colorway. So lots of beautiful rainbow colors. This is just so cheerful. And then this, I'm so excited to knit this one up at some point. This is Artistic Yarn by Abby, which I get on her website, and I just want to buy all of her yarns. But this was a Monopoly colorway, and it came with the little Monopoly house for a little progress keeper. I just thought that was so much fun. Because, you know, we like to play games a lot, and so, you know, a sock yarn based on a game just seemed very appropriate. And then the final one I have to share, this was a most recent acquisition within this month. This is a new dyer to me. This is Tall Pine Yarn. And I chose this yarn because it reminds me of Husker colors. And my daughter Jenna is going to the University of Nebraska in Lincoln this fall. She'll be starting, and so I thought I would hope to knit this up for a pair of socks for her for Christmas. I hope she'll wear them. If not, my mom said that they are her school colors, like her high school that she went to, so maybe they'll be for her if Jenna doesn't like them. So yeah, excited to try that yarn. So you can see I have a lot of self-striping socks already in my sock drawer, and I have lots of beautiful self-striping sock yarn to knit with. So I'm thinking I should pick a skein, you know, for summer sock camp, a self-striping skein. So we'll have to see what I pick, yeah, to get started. So that starts this week already, I believe, on Friday, I think. So I'll have to pick that, and sometimes that's the hardest part, is just picking which skein do you want to use next. So I hope you've enjoyed this additional episode, or this special episode going through my yarns and some of my self-striping socks. And until the next podcast, I hope that you all are all well. And tell me if you have self-striping socks, do you have a favorite dyer? How many skeins do you think you have in your stash, or how many self-striping socks have you knit? So I would love to hear, or if you're working on a pair right now, I would love to hear all that. So with that, I'll say goodbye, and I'll see you in the next episode. Take care.